Chapter 9. I never considered myself to be very social, but I still needed to put myself out there and try to convince people to join the church. I always dreaded doing this because it was uncomfortable for everyone involved, and almost always ended in me being rejected and avoided from then on. It was a requirement though. We had to support God's mission to save the world, otherwise we didn't support God. Since I didn't enjoy these interactions, in person or door to door, and didn't enjoy many of the odd church interactions, I thought I didn't enjoy socializing. I discovered later in life this was not the case, and was yet another aspect of relationships I had missed out on. It is also an example of how this cult weakens its members. It stifles members' personal and interpersonal skills, which makes it hard to successfully leave the cult. I am still learning how to live a life that includes others in healthy social ways. There was always a hidden tension when doing church activities, particularly ones like convincing people to come to church. From the message undertones in Chapter 2, everything good was also backed by the worst eternal penalties. If we could attempt to convert someone into the church, not doing so was as good as watching them go to hell even though we could stop it. Despite talking to dozens and dozens of people, I never actually won anyone into the church. I only brought in one person to visit, and they didn't stay around. We never lost an argument, but our way of life just wasn't appealing to most. One person was fairly interested, but cut me off one day, because her pastor said that our beliefs were dangerous, and she shouldn't associate with us. He was right. Members had better luck recruiting people in areas with poverty and hardship. In order to entice someone, we had to show them that we were much happier than they were. That was easy if the person was clearly miserable. Saying things like we couldn't be happier, or have never been better got most people's attention. When asked why that was the case, we began to tell our church story, which was well rehearsed. It was critical to say the key passages out loud so they had no excuse for rejecting God based on lack of knowledge. Otherwise, if they reject God ignorantly, we could be held accountable by God for not giving them a good enough chance to be saved. If necessary, we could also go into lengthy proofs of concepts without a Bible in hand because of memorization. I was proud of how much I knew and how confident I was in my beliefs. I wrote Bible research papers, came up with analogies, and found insights into passages. Because of this, I was said to be wise beyond my years, and would eventually gain attention from the leadership. We were told that bringing people into the church was a battle for their souls. The Bible was our sword, and anything we could do to save their souls was worth it. Give them a ride if they needed it to get to church, help them pay their bills by lending a little money. Give them a temporary job or place to live. Even let them play music or sing in service. We were taught that these were appropriate things to do in order to retain visitors. I remember worrying for days about how to talk to particular people about the church. It was always present on my mind, even with something like sitting down next to someone on the bus. I'd send a smile and nod because I thought I might be able to talk to them about church and save them if they responded. I was still always nervous though, expecting to lose relationships and work through awkwardness afterward if I saw the person again. Sometimes that would almost prevent me from doing my duty, but the thought of God, heaven, and hell would always come through. I counted the uncomfortable task as a gift to God and that person, and good for my personal growth. Next we will see how this need to save others turns into a way to remotely control members.